The President, please be seated. The court is now back in session. We shall now proceed with the hearing of the testimony of Mr. So Tương. Co-prosecutors will be putting questions to him. Good afternoon, Mr. So Tương. You are now having counsel with you. So you can listen to the questions being put to you by parties and respond to the questions concerning the facts as alleged in this portion of the trial, and you can tell the court on the events you witnessed, experienced, seen, for example, and according to the request by the chamber, Vesu has now provided the court with the counsel to assist you. Mr. Counsel, what is your name, please? Response: I am Lam Bun Heng, Mr. President, and your honors. Mr. President, can you give us your code name? Response: 689. The President, thank you. The President, during these proceedings, you are representing the witness for the purpose of trying to assist the witness if he may incriminate himself in his responses to the questions. You are not representing him in his capacity as an accused, but as a witness. So you is on standby or be ready to assist witness regarding questions you feel that are self-incriminating, or any assertions or statements that you think are self-incriminating against this witness. Mr. Counsel, do you understand this? Response: yes, I do, Mr. President. The President, thank you. We would like now to hand over to the co-prosecutor to proceed with their questions. They may proceed. Mr. Bun King. Thank you, Mr. President. Next, I would like, with your permission, document E3/423 be put up on the screen. We already talked about it this morning. The President, you may proceed. Question. Mr. Witness, I would like to proceed with some further questions. Before we left for break, I was mentioning regarding document E3/43. This document is relevant to the statements you made before the co-investigating judges. Under item number 19 of your responses, you said, I would like to quote your entire statement. I would like to talk about the 3 points concerning the fact regarding your accompany Mr. Nguyen Chia to China, and that you worked as a bodyguard for Mr. Nguyen Chia, and that your title as the messenger, and you made this statement just to clear all doubts. May we ask whether that statement was done genuinely? Response: yes, it was. Question: on the same document, under responses items 48 and 47, you said, I was the bodyguard of Nguyen Chia. I gave security protection to him days and nights. In item number 48, you said you were the bodyguard of Mr. Nguyen Chia in 1975 until you went to Peking in 1977. Is that the correct assertion? Response: yes, it is. Question: were you also a messenger for Nguyen Chia? Response: I used to take his letters to Tat Duch at Tul Slang. Question: as a bodyguard and messenger of Nguyen Chia, how long had you been working for him? Response: I had been working for him for about 3 years. Question: how many people were assigned to the Y10 to work for Nguyen Chia? Response: I don't remember the exact number, but on any occasion there could have been about 10 people who would be loaded on the trucks. Question: how many people were the regular bodyguards for Mr. Nguyen Chia? Response: I don't remember how many, because there were quite a few numbers of them, and the number of people could vary accordingly. Question: do you remember who were the leaders of the group? Response: I don't remember. I remember the person named Gu, but I don't remember the other leaders of the other groups. It was a long time ago. I don't recollect it very well. Kamin was also the head of the group. Question: were you ever a group leader? Response: no, I wasn't. Question: were your group armed? Response: yes, we were. Question. What kind of weapons were you equipped with? Response. AK-CKC as an example. Question. Do you recall whether Nuon Chea carried any gun when he went somewhere? Response. No, he didn't carry any gun. His bodyguards could carry guns. Question. Were other members of Y10 assigned to work as bodyguards for other people, including Khieu Samphan? Response. No, I don't know. Question. Can you tell us where Y10 was located in Phnom Penh? Response. It was adjacent to K1, the U.S. Embassy. Question. I would like to go back to another question. I seek for clarification. Were you engaged in fighting with any opposing groups? Response. I remember that I went to the border and I did not engage in any fighting. Question. Do you remember exactly when you went to the border? When you took food to the army? Response. It was in 1979, 80 or 81. Question. I'm talking about the year before 1975. Response. That was in 1973 or 1974. Question. Do you know what happened to the Lon Nol soldiers who were arrested by the Khmer Rouge soldiers? Response. I don't know. Question. Where was your unit located? In which section? In which zone? Response. In Kampong Cham province. Question. Could you please tell us the zone name? Response. I don't know. Question. Do you still recollect who the commander of the division you worked for was? Response. There were only Pang. Only Pang. There was only Pang, the commander. Question. Do you know the full name of Pang? Response. No, I only knew this person by that name, Pang. Question. Thank you. I would like to go back to Y10 unit again. When you worked at Y10 unit in Phnom Penh, What was your food ration like and where did you eat? Response. We ate in the military base or barrack, and we ate collectively in that place. Question. Do you remember how many people were in Y10? Response. I think there were about 30 people, but I don't remember the exact number. Question. Do you remember who the leader of Y10 was? Response. Kami was the chairperson. The deputy chairperson was another person whose name I don't know and I don't want to speculate. Question. Do you know the person named Sami? Response. Yes, I do. Question. What was his role? Response. I don't remember. Question. Concerning the report on work activity from Y10 to upper echelon and from upper echelon to Y10, where did you receive these orders concerning these tasks? Response. I don't know. Normally orders could have been rendered from the top. Question. Do you know what K1 or K3 are? Response. K1 and K3 were the Angkar bases or offices. Question. Where was K1 located? Response. At the Chatumuk theater location on the riverfront. Question. Could you tell the court how K1 was protected? Was it surrounded by fence or wall? Response. I don't know. Question. What about K3? Where was it? Response. I guess it was close to K1. Or rather, Satmai. Question. Could you please tell the court how security was like at K3? Response. At K3, people were tasked with protecting the premises day and nights. Question. Did you ever see any leaders coming to K3 or K1? Response. I don't remember, but there could have been the secretaries of sectors who could be visiting the places. Question. Could you also tell us the names of the individuals you saw coming in and out of the offices? Response. These people include Koi Thun, Taker, and other people. I don't know their names. Question. What about the other leaders of the party? Do you remember having seen them going there? Response. I don't remember. Question. Have you ever seen, or did you ever see Pol Pot, Nuon Chea, Ieng Sary, Khieu Samphan going there? Response. I used to see them.
Because of the answer. First, he asked him one question. He got a negative. Then he gives him a multiple choice, coaching the witness to the names. It's improper. It's leading. And so I suggest that once he gets an answer, and if he doesn't like the answer, he moves on, as opposed to leading the witnesses. He asked about leaders. He said, I don't know. Then he gives a multiple choice. If the prosecution is going to be objecting to the defense leading, then we're going to be objecting to these sort of tactics. We did so before, we will do so again. Thank you.
The President, thank you, Counsel. National Co-Prosecutor is now advised to rephrase the questions so that they are proper and that they are free of objections and that they are not banned by the law. Witness is now instructed to pause a little while before he responds to questions. Please wait until the red light on the mic is on. Otherwise, your statement could have been lost. Co-prosecutor, Mr. President, allow me to respond that the witness may not remember the statement he has made before the co-investigating judges. And I refer to the document E3/103. ERN number in Khmer 00204014. English 00204020, French 00490624, in which he said he was not the bodyguard of these people, but the unit was tasked with giving protection to individuals including Won Wade, Khieu Samphan, alias Ham, Ieng Sary, alias Wan, and he said that he also saw Koi Thun coming to K1 and K3. The President, Counsel for Ieng Sary, you may now proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just this morning, I cautioned about the prosecutor doing exactly what they just did, coaching the witness. Now, if they want to refresh the witness's memory or if they wish to impeach the witness, they have the document. There's a proper technique of doing so. Either they do it correctly or they allow somebody else to do it who knows how to do it, but this is an improper way of doing things. He asked a question, he got an answer. Now, if there's something different in one of the statements, they can go to the statement, have the witness look at the statement or read it to the witness, and allow the witness to provide an explanation as to why he said one thing today and something else on another occasion, keeping in mind, as was noted by the prosecutor, that on previous occasions the gentleman has given contradictory statements. It's a matter of technique. I don't mean to be harsh, but if we're going to do things, well, let's do it right. Otherwise, I will continue to object. This was the tactic that was used last week by the prosecution. This is the tactic that I will continue to use If we're going to do things right, let's do it right.
The President, thank you. The Chamber has already reminded the prosecution that they should be more cautious in framing the question to be put to the witness. National Prosecutor, Mr. President, with your leave, I would like to ask that this document be presented to the witness so that he can see it. Yes, you may proceed, say the President. The President, can the document be displayed on the screen as well? Response, yes, it can be projected. The President, court officer, please ensure that the document is displayed on the screen. Prosecutor, witness, document E3/103. ELN in Khmer 0020 4014 and relevant page ELN page in English 0020 4020, French 00490624. On page 2 in the Khmer document, you told the Office of Co-Investigating Judges that Pol Pot, Nuon Chea, Son Sen alias Q, Khieu Samphan alias Haim, Ieng Sari alias One, and Von Wait. All these persons went in and out of K1 and K3, and he also saw Koi Thun going in and out of K1 and K3 location. Do you still stand by this statement? Response, yes, I do. Question, do you recall who among the leaders stay in K1 and who else stay in K3? Response, at K1, Nuon Chea stay over there, but they actually swap places. Nuon Chea and Pol Pot frequently went in and out of these places. Question, how about K3? Response, K3 was more like a working place where people came in and out as well. Question, do you know an office K7? Response, yes, I do. Did you work at K7? Response, no, I didn't. That was the place for receiving equipments. Question, where was it located? Answer, it was located somewhere on the riverfront. It was a two-story building. Question, can you tell the court the function of Office K7? Response, well, K7 receive people sent from the countryside, and those individuals would be turned into additional forces. Question, so how long did they stay in this office before they were transferred to other offices? Response. It vary. Sometimes they stayed there for 1 or 2 nights, or some of them may stay up to 1 month before they were transferred out. Question. Can you tell the court whether or not you had seen any zone leader or sector leaders who came to Phnom Penh to attend the meeting with other senior leaders in the city? Response. Yes, I had. I had seen the sector leaders from the provinces in Phnom Penh. Question. Can you elaborate? Response. I'm sorry, I cannot recall it well because I forget most of them. Question. What did they do when they arrived in Phnom Penh? Response. They may have come for a meeting, but I do not know the nature of the meeting. Question. Did you guard the meeting compound? Answer. Yes, I did. The last meeting I guarded that meeting. Question. Do you recall how often the meeting was convened? Response. It was convened once a month. Question. Where was the meeting held? Answer. I do not really recall the exact location of the meeting, but I got it outside the compound. Question. Do you recall which leaders in Phnom Penh attended those meetings? Response. I do not recall them. Question. Do you know the nature of the meeting? What was it about? Answer. No, I didn't. My duty was to guard outside the compound of the meeting venue. Thank you. Question. Concerning your unit Y10, did you yourself attend any self-criticism or so? Response. Yes, I used to attend the re-education or self-criticism session once a month. Question. Where was this self-criticism session held? Response. Well, the places varied from time to time. Sometimes it took place outdoors, sometimes it was taking place indoor. Question. Who led those meetings? Ku and Kami were the 2 leaders who normally led the self-criticism sessions. Question. How about those who attended those sessions? Do you still recall those who attended those meetings? Response. Sami attended those sessions, and sometimes Pang also attended. How many people attended those self-criticism sessions? Well, it varies again. Sometimes 10 people, 5 people, or even more than that at certain times. Question. What was the main purpose of having this self-criticism session? Response. The main objective was to strengthen the spirit of fighting oppressive classes and national patriotism. Besides attending these sort of meetings, did you ever attend any political training? Response: I do not understand what political training was all about, but it was a general training I attended. They taught us how to behave in the groups, but I did not know whether or not it was political training. Then I attended the self-criticism. Questions: what was the self-criticism session like? Response: well, the self-criticism session was meant to re-educate us and refashion us, try to educate us to behave properly. បាទអរគុណ Question: Besides those self-criticism session, did you ever attend any political trainings? Response: no, I never went to attend any trainings other than the trainings took place in my unit. Question: do you recall any cadres from your unit who were arrested and sent away? Response: yes, some of them were taken away, but I did not know who they were and where they were taken to. The prosecutor: Mr. President, I do not have any further question, but I would like to hand over to my colleagues. The President: yes, International Co-Prosecutor, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Ms. Witness. I want to start by going back. I had a few follow-up questions on some testimony that you've given to my colleague earlier. When you were asked what you did when you first joined the revolution, you indicated that you were, excuse me, transferred back and forth from different offices. Can you tell me what were the offices that you remember that you were transferred back and forth from after you joined the revolution?
Could you please repeat your question, because I do not quite get the question.
Yes, I'd be happy to. You said earlier today that after you joined the revolution, you were transferred back and forth between different offices. What were those offices?
Office is actually the resident office, but I do not really know its function. But it is the resident office, but they are not main offices at all, because main offices are located in Phnom Penh, but those offices were very small and not that important.
Another follow-up question. My colleague asked you about whether you received documents from the party. And in English, the question was translated as revolutionary flag documents. I want to make sure that I understand the answer correctly. Did you, as a member of the Youth League, did you ever receive a publication that was called Revolutionary Youth?
response. Yes, I did receive certain issues, but I was very young and I could not read and write very well, so I did not understand much.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you any questions about the contents of these, but I would like you to look at a couple of copies of Revolutionary Youth that we have, just for you to identify whether or not they look like the Revolutionary Youth that you received back in those days. And Mr. President, the two documents that I would like to provide to the witness are E3/146, which is also in the case file as D175/6.2, and also E3/729. And I'll also provide the old number for that, which is IS 11.3. Just for clarity, Mr. President, the reason some of these are part of the new E3 numbers that were just recently assigned, and because some of them are not yet available in Xylab under the E3 number, I will continue for some of these documents to provide both the E3 number and the previous case file number. But I would like to show the witness the cover page from those two documents to ask whether he recognizes them as issues of Revolutionary Youth.
The President. Witness, please hold. And the prosecution, please hold on. There is an objection by the defense counsel for Ieng Sary. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think the exercise is quite suggestive. First, perhaps they could ask the witness, since he said that he came across these issues, to describe what the issue would look like, how big, what sort of format it was, and what have you. But to simply show him something and say, is this what it looks like? How do we know that he is really telling us the truth in light of the various statements that he has given and the contradictions that are within the statements themselves? So before showing him any documents, and I take it the purpose for showing him the document is to authenticate, which I think that is not a problem in this case anyway. The witness has said he hasn't read them because he could not read very well at the time. But if he hasn't indeed seen them, then he should describe what they look like, if he has an independent memory of that. First, we go that route. If he doesn't, then if they wish to show him something to refresh his memory, then they could approach it that way as well. But first, let's hear what the witness has to say from his independent memory, if indeed he did see those documents.
Yes, International Co-Prosecutor, you may respond.
Yeah, Mr. President, Mr. Carnavas can ask the questions that he wishes. The witness has indicated that he received Revolutionary Youth. I'm certainly entitled to provide him with documents and ask him whether he can identify them as Revolutionary Youths. If Mr. Carnavas really thinks this is a critical point that he wants to cross-examine the witness on, he can do so later.
Mr. Carnavas, you may reply. You may proceed.
Mr. President, if you show a document that has the label on it and then say, well, is this the document that you recall? Obviously, it's suggestive. And for the prosecution to say, then I can cure it or challenge it on cross-examination defeats the purpose. First, lay a foundation. He said that he has seen them. Okay, describe it. What did it look like? Was it in a book form? Was it in a pamphlet form? Was it a magazine? Was it small? Was it large? Was it thick? Was it thin? Describe it. What color? What was on the cover page? If he doesn't have a recollection of that, then we can proceed. But to show him the cover page and say, is this it? Where on the title of it, it shows what the document is all about. It is so highly suggestive, it's not even evidence. That's my objection.
The President. Objection by the Defense Counsel for Ieng Sary is not sustained. The international co-prosecutor may present the document to the witness and ensure that the document is displayed on the screen.
Thank you, Mr. President. So we'll first give the witness E3/146, and if we could display the cover page of that on the screen. Mr. Witness, if you could take a look at the document, in particular the cover page, and tell me whether that looks like the publication that you mentioned that you received during the period you were a member of the Youth League.
Yes, the color of the paper was rather pale yellow in color.
Were the flags on the cover in color? And if so, what color were they?
Respond. The flags were in red, which a rice leaf.
Mr. President, I'd like to hand a second document now to the witness, which is E3/729, also in the case file as IS 11.3.
The President. Yes, you may proceed. Court officer, please take the document from the prosecutor and present it to the witness. And you may also project this document on the computer screens.
And my question is same for the second document. Does this appear to be the Revolutionary Youth publication that you indicated you received during the period you were a member of the Youth League?
I'm sorry, I do not catch your question. Could you please repeat your question? The President, Mr. Prosecutor, please repeat your question because the witness appears not to understand the question.
My question is, does this document also appear to be, do you recognize this as a copy of the Revolutionary Youth publication that you received as a member of the Youth League?
Are you talking about the Revolutionary Youth magazines in those days? I'm afraid I do not understand the question. I dare not answer the questions because I do not understand the question. Do you want me to refer to the Revolutionary Youth magazines in those old days? Please repeat the question because I would like to have the specific time indication. The President, please, Mr. Prosecutor, repeat your question and please indicate the time of the publication as well, because the witness is insisting that he wants to know the date of the document as well. So if you can indicate this, it would be very helpful for the witness so that it can refresh his memory and his response to that question would be conducive to getting the information. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. The second document we gave you is titled as the October 1975 Revolutionary Youth. My question is, was 1975 part of the time period when you received the Revolutionary Youth publication?
Response. I am struggling to understand this question. It's the same.
Let me ask you a very simple question. What time period was it? What years did you receive the Revolutionary Youth publication?
I received it in 1974. Actually, this magazine was first published in 1974.
Did you continue to receive Revolutionary Youth in 1975, or was it only 1974 when you received them?
Response. I started to receive them in 1975 and 1976.
So you've already identified one of the documents as appearing to be a Revolutionary Youth. Is the second document I gave you from October 7, 1975, does the cover page look like the cover page of Revolutionary Youth that you received in 1975?
Response. I don't remember exactly, but there were two colors, red and yellow.
Do you remember the number of flags that used to be on the magazines that you received back in 1974 and 1975?
Response, no, I don't.
And you've said that you were not able to read these publications yourself. Did anyone provide instruction to you about the meaning of these documents?
Response, we were instructed, briefed by the leader of our group, including Pang, who was reading them for us, and we were not legible, or we couldn't read anything back then.
And what was Pang's position?
Response, Pang was in charge overally at K1 office.
Where did these meetings take place, where Pang instructed you about revolutionary youth?
Response, at K7 and Y10.
Thank you. I also want to ask you a few more questions about your work as a soldier in the period prior to April 1975. And I would like to refer you to a statement of yours in E3/423, and it is question A51. And Mr. President, if we could put that on the screen, I think the witness already has a copy of that statement.
The President, you may proceed. Court assistant is now instructed to put up the document on the screen.
Mr. Sottung, in the statement that you gave to the co-investigating judges, you indicated that you were trained as a bodyguard, quote, when I became a soldier fighting against Lon Nol's soldiers. What did you mean when you said you were a soldier fighting against Lon Nol's soldiers? Did you engage in any combat against them, or were you just trained to fight against the Lon Nol army?
Response, I did not receive any military training. Those soldiers could have been trained, but I didn't receive such training. I was only tasked with providing protection to people concerned.
If you could look at the very next question and answer in this document, which is A52, the question was, quote, during the training to be soldier, who was the trainer? your answer, quote, the trainer was named Fen, who was from Hanoi. Could you describe for the chamber what training what training it was that you received from Fen?
Response. I did not join the training session, but Pan was giving military training sessions to soldiers on how to be engaged in combat.
When was it that you were present for these training sessions?
Response. No, I didn't attend any of the sessions.
When did these training sessions take place?
They would normally take place in the dry season, so far as I recollect.
Mr. President, if this is a convenient place to take our break, I can stop it at this point and resume after the break.
The President, we were about to move a little bit further. However, since you already notified us that it would be appropriate time for the adjournment, then it is indeed appropriate time for the adjournment. We will adjourn briefly, and that witness is now, court officer and security guards are instructed to take the witness to his room, and the court adjourn until 3 o'clock.